you have friends like that? Friends who routinely almost always seem to hear the bad, malicious, painful, hurtful, slanderous things that other people said or are saying behind you, and then always make it a point of duty to tell you those things. Hurtful things could be about the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you do your work, your family, your love life, your relationship, the way you raise your children, your faith, your religion, whatever. Hurtful things. And they tell you those things under the guise of love. They say it's love. It's because they love you. They want you to stay away from those people because those people are not your friends, or they want you to know how people perceive you so that you can change. Lie. Those people are not your friends. I make bold to tell you, those people are actually your enemies and they will hurt you, okay? And the Africans, the Yoruba people, we have a descriptive nomenclature. We have a name. We give those people a classification that is very apt. We call them àwọn agbọ́tẹnu ikú sọfẹ́yẹ, àwọn agbọ́tẹnu ẹyẹ rùfẹ́kù, ènìyàn má jẹ́ kí tẹní sunwọ̀n. It literally means those who tell the proverbial bird, because it's a woodland proverb. Africans have those woodland proverbs: the rat and the bird, the snake and the monkey, the lion and the dog, the sheep and the lamb, and all of that, the tortoise and the hare. So it's a woodland proverb. So they say these people are those who tell the bird what the rat supposedly said, and then turn right around and tell the rat what the bird said, and go back and forth. People who trade in hearsay, third-party rumors, butting heads against each other, causing enmity and all of that. Let me tell you, the truth is that those people are passive-aggressive, and they are just looking for ways to hurt you. That's their target. That's their goal. They want to hurt you, but they are too cowardly to do it directly or to your face. And so they hide under the guise of what, or behind the guise of what other people supposedly said about you. See, the Africans, the Yoruba people, have another proverb. They say that "Bírẹsì bá ń pàkúta, ẹnu oníbàárà ńkọ́ ló yẹ ká ti gbọ́." That literally means that a starving person, a broke person, a homeless person, a beggar, a person who is starving, if you give that person a plate of badly sifted rice that still contains sediments of sand and stone, that person has no right to complain. When you harvest rice when harvested contains, great amounts of sediment, sand, stone, and when the rice is processed, the sand and the stone are processed out. But sometimes you get a badly processed batch of rice or a bag of rice, and so when you eat it, the sand and the stones are still there. Very unpleasant. So the Yorubas say that even if you serve such a badly sifted plate of rice that still contains sand and stones to a starving person, they have no right to complain. They were starving. Beggars cannot be choosers and all of that. But you see, the deeper meaning of that proverb, the deeper meaning of that metaphor, the deeper wisdom in that metaphor is that there are certain things, there are certain actions that are prescribed and forbidden to certain groups of people. There are certain things that certain groups of people should never say or do. And under that classification is that your friends should never, ever tell you the harmful or the hurtful or the slanderous or the malicious things that other people said about you behind you. Never. In fact, there's only one scenario where that might ever happen. Only just one scenario. And that is where if you have a friend that you feel could change a particular part of their character, if there's a particular part of your friend's character or anything that you feel could change and you felt it over a period of time, and then two other independent parties come to you and tell you those same things about your friend. Now, why two people? Because the Bible says out of the mouth of two or more witnesses, every word or sentiment is established. So you need two people to confirm what you're feeling. Now note, those two people must come to you by themselves. It cannot be two people that you went to meet or two people with whom you were having a conversation about your friend already. And then it cannot be two people that came to you together. Has to be two people that came to you independently. One came today, the next one came next month. And then these two people have to be two people that do not know themselves. Now, when they say that maybe in that scenario, then you go tell your friend what you think about your friend's character or what you think needs changing or correction in a loving manner, maybe. And then when you're telling your friend, you're not telling your friend what those people said. You are telling your friend what you feel. All those people did was just to confirm what you felt. You are not telling your friend that they said. You're telling your friend what you genuinely feel. Only then. Because you see, King Solomon says that faithful are the wounds of a friend. Sometimes our friends bear the responsibility to tell us the truth, the hard truth, and to wound us. So you hear things like the truth is bitter, okay? So King Solomon says that faithful are the wounds of a friend. When a true friend wounds us by telling us the truth, those wounds are faithful. But having said that, we should remember that Jesus also said Before you judge your brother and talk about the speck of dust in his eye, remove the log of wood in your eye. And when people read that, I think a lot of times they think that Jesus is giving us like a set of rules or the parameter for judging other people. That's not what Jesus was saying. What Jesus was saying was that we by ourselves have enough bad habits, enough negative characteristics, enough things about ourselves that need change without bothering about what is wrong with other people. That by ourselves there is enough to change. So leave other people alone. Don't correct other people unless they are your kids or they are your proteges. Leave them alone. If you have a friend if we're friends and I keep correcting you every year there's something you have done. This year it's the way you dress. Next year is the way you speak. The year after that is the way you treat your wife and your kids and all of that. Then you must ask, why are we friends? You must think like that. If you have enough things that irk me, if you do enough things that go against the way that I see life, then why are we friends? Because King Solomon said again that unless two agree, how can they work together? If you do so many things that are at variance with how I see life, then how can we be friends? Look, the reason why you should never tell your friends hurtful things is that information is useless. It's useless information. What are they supposed to do with the information? That info you have given them. You've just come to tell them that Susie said they were a slut. What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to go and meet Susie like we're back in kindergarten or high school and tell Susie that I heard my friend said that you said this and this and that? Who does that? It's useless info. All that information does is just hurt your friend, harm them, keep them awake at night. But the question that you must ask, if you have a friend who routinely tells you these types of hurtful things that other people said about you, is that how come your friend is always in a position to hear those things? Not just once, he's told you about 3-4 times now. How come people are comfortable enough to tell your friend bad things about you? How come? It can only mean that when you are not there, your friend also says hurtful things about you. That's all it means. See, there is a reason why the very first Psalm of the Bible says, "Ìbùkún ni fún ọkùnrin náà." Blessed is the man tí kò rìn ní ìmọ̀ àwọn èèyàn búburú, who does not walk in the way of the wicked, tí kò dúró ní ọ̀nà àwọn ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀, who does not stand in the way of sinners, tí kò sì jókòó ní ibùjókòó àwọn ẹlẹ́gàn, who does not sit in the seat of the scornful or the mockers. See, sometimes we all make mistakes out of ignorance. Sometimes we tell our friends those types of things. We don't mean to hurt them, but we do. But that should happen maybe once or twice. That should not be a regular occurrence. If you have a friend whom you've been friends with now for 5 years and 5 different times, 6 different times, they've hurt you by telling you harmful things that other people are saying about you, they are either ignorant or they're your enemies. They're looking to harm you. Whatever the case, what are you doing with friends like that? Why are you hanging around people like that? Let me also tell you this in conclusion. If you have a friend with whom you gossip about other people, yes, gossip, and you talk about what that other person did, and you guys always talk about other people behind them in fellowship, and you guys have fun, I promise you, as surely as night follows day, as surely as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, your friend will eventually turn that loyalty on you and will talk about you to other people too. If you have a friend with whom you gossip about other people and you enjoy that stuff, I promise you, it's only a matter of time before they're talking about you to other people. You need to cut those people out of your life now. I'm out of here. Or maybe you don't. See what's going to happen to you.